Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Mystery Theory. My dog has an obsession with cleaning his paws and making sure he's spotless. So if you hear a background noise, that's him taking his 11th shower of the morning. Yeah, he's something else. Anyways, today it's gonna be the 5th video on the series Mystober, where I'm sharing with you a new mystery or video, crime-related video for the month of October, leading up to Halloween. If you missed the previous 4 videos, please check out the playlist on the top of the screen right now, or even in the description box down below, so you can catch up. Today though, we're gonna talk about the reign of the Rostov Ripper. This was not only Russia's first known serial killer, but he was also apprehended after a 12-year murder spree. And he even said himself, quote, "I was a mistake of nature." Let's get started, so maybe you'll understand a little bit better how creepy this guy is. It's crazy. I didn't know about him, so when I started reading on it, it really took it to the next level. It was a frigid December 1978 in Shakti. This is a coal mining town in southern Russia, when a clean-shaven, neatly dressed man in his 40s invited 9-year-old Yelena Sakutnova into a cabin. The man promised to let Yelena use the bathroom, but once she got inside, he took advantage of her, strangled and stabbed her to death. He then threw Yelena's body into a nearby river. So began the sadistic career of Andrei Chikatilo. Over the next 12 years, he would sexually assault, murder, and mutilate at least 14 girls, 21 boys, 18 women. All that before being stopped by the police. He was born in 1936 in Ukraine. As a child, he was beaten by his mother and bullied by his classmates. When he started his sexual activity, he was only 15 years old, and he found pleasure when the girl that struggle. Despite being a creep, he got married in 1963, and he had 2 children. You want to know something creepier? He became a school teacher in 1971, and although he was repeatedly accused of molesting his students, he was never fired. Okay. In 1978, he took a new teaching position and moved to Shakti. In September of 1981, almost 3 years after murdering Yelena Zogunova, he struck again. This time his victim was a 17-year-old boarding school student, Larisa Chichenko. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that, probably butchering it, whom he lured into the woods to drink vodka, then raped and killed her. To make things worse, he decided to prowl on the bus and railway station for school children, prostitutes, and the homeless. After enticing his prey to secluded spots with offers of food, alcohol, or help, he would assault them, stab, and sometimes strangle and mutilate them. When he was done, he made little effort to hide the bodies. Even as Chikatilo's murderous tally rose, the Soviet authorities were reluctant to admit there might be a serial killer at large. But by 1982, police had linked 6 of 17 murders victim to a single killer, and a profile began to emerge. The media, transfixed by the ghoulish details, stepped up its coverage of the case and dubbed the unidentified butcher the Rostov Ripper. After the Rostov district, where many of the slaying took place, this guy's most savage year was 1984, when he took the lives of 15 people, ranging from a 10-year-old boy to a 45-year-old woman. Eyewitnesses began to come forward, and the police found physical evidence, including I didn't finish writing that. Yes, it included some fluids. Yeah. And the killer's blood type 6, 1990, in a forested area near the station. Now this guy, as he emerged from the woods, he was spotted by an undercover policeman and soon apprehended for suspicious behavior. Yet again, was seemingly exonerated by the blood test, which showed him to be an A and not the incriminating AB type. When the police learned that there were extremely unusual cases in which men could have different blood and semen types, they tested his semen and it was AB. Chikatilo's, this guy, Chikatilo's, I'm always butchering his last name probably, quickly admitted to 34 of the 36 murders and attributed to the Rostov Ripper, and described them in detail. He then surprised the police by confessing to 22 more unsolved homicides and leading them to the crime scenes. The prosecutor charged him with 53 of the 56 slaying he described, and psychiatrists found him competent to stand trial. During the 1992 proceeding, he was confirmed to a he was not confirmed, but confined to a cage in the courtroom, sometimes refusing to answer questions, sometimes shouting, singing, and exposing himself. He was suspected of attempting to fake insanity. But if that was the case, it did little to help him. He was found guilty on 52 counts of murder, sentenced to death, and executed by a gunshot to the head on Valentine's Day, 1994. Yeah, I mean, if you want to make it a little bit more dramatic, you do it on Valentine's Day in a gunshot to the head. I guess that's how they do it in Russia. I don't know. Now, to kind of close this video, let me tell you about some other things that happened while the police were looking for this guy. There were other victims, but these victims were accused of being the actual Ripper. You know, the actual Ripper killed 52 women and children, but he also caused the death of others suspected of the killings. Let me tell you 3 different cases. In 1978, a young guy, Alexander Kravchenko, was arrested after the first murder. This guy had only one arrest in his record for vandalism, but as the case progressed, he lost hope and confessed. He was found guilty and was executed, but he was not the Ripper. I know, it sounds totally crazy. Let me keep going because it gets crazier. In 1982, so that was 78, in 1982, a former sex offender arrested for one of the murders hanged himself rather than face interrogation and trial. Yeah. And then in the late 80s, 3 gay suspects in the slayings committed suicide. So no, they were not the killers. Yeah, they're they lost their, it doesn't, it's crazy. This is one of those cases that you feel for the victims, but then you contact with this guy, and I can't wrap my head around that. I can't. I don't know what's up with that. So the Ripper, the Rostov Ripper, not only took the life of, the lives of many people, but also some of those lives that were accused for what he did. So his damage was even bigger, and it kind of goes to show that sometimes we think that what we do only affects the people that we do things to. And I'm not talking about crazy things like what he did, but I am saying that this is one of those horrible examples of how everything that we do has repercussions, and it has consequences not only in ourselves and the people that we affect, but also overall. How it can affect somebody that we don't even know. And the desperation of people that you could see right here, that we're not responsible for it, yet they were so scared that they lost their lives in this battle. Did you know about this guy? Let me know in the comments down below. This one really kind of froze me for a second, and it left me thinking about it, and I just couldn't continue to do any research or read more articles or anything because I just couldn't wrap my head around it. This guy was brutal. This guy was evil, but just the circumstances, the way that he died, the people that died because we're afraid of being, accused of something like this, and the ending that they would face, like the first guy that confessed to this that he didn't do, really is crazy.